If you live in Washington DC area and if you have any bad experiences with casinos in the area, especially Live Casino and Hotel in Maryland, I would like to get in touch with you and maybe we help each other. My name is William Whitman legally, but I still go by my Albanian name, Semi Joga. I am a real estate broker and I come, as I said, from Albania. I never learned English well. Today is April 10th, 2025, and is a important day for me. I have a pre-trial in Anne Arundel County Circuit Court against Live Casino. I have been engaged in this lawsuit, in this legal battle with Live Casino for some 7 or 8 years now, and we are involved in this civil lawsuit in a state court, in Anne Arundel County Court, and today is kind of a finalization. We're coming to an end. Is a pre-trial schedule. Pre-trial is when you go and talk, like, for example, how many days of trial you're gonna need, how many hours of trial, if all the motions have been resolved, if how many witnesses you're gonna have, so things of that nature. Now, I'm a pro se litigant, and pro se means that you represent yourself. In fact, it means you have no representation. As I said, I've been engaged in this legal battle with this casino, Live Casino and Hotel, its owner and chairman, David Kordish, and its parent company, Kordish Companies. Is tough, is very hard, is very exhausting. If you take matters in your hand in our country, in America, and fight for your rights against big corporations, let alone if your English is like mine. You're gonna learn, my friends, if you're gonna fight for justice in our country, in America, and if you're gonna represent yourself, so you have no turning, you're gonna fight. That is not impossible. It's a suicide. Never do that. If you are able to learn the law, to learn the procedures, and you think can do a job better than attorneys do, you're just gonna fool yourself. You're gonna learn the judges in court. If you know the law, they will have an attitude, who the fuck are you to tell me the law? They're gonna hate you. They're gonna hate your guts. They're gonna do anything they can to destroy your case. They're gonna crush you. Because on the other side, there is big corporations represented by big law firms, which are there members of the same club, attorneys. So if you know the law, they're gonna hate you. Who the fuck are you to come and tell me the law? If you don't know the law, and if you're gonna insist fighting for your rights, they're gonna sanction you. Why do you come here if you don't know the law? So damn if you do, and damn if you don't. But if you are someone who, no matter what, will not stop fighting for your rights, then do it. Do it, but be prepared to see that our courts are a joke when it comes to pro-se litigants. Nobody cares for you. Nobody cares if you are right or wrong. Nobody cares if you know the law. Nobody cares if you master the procedures. They are gonna crush you. Equal justice under law, due process, all these stupid things means nothing in court. You're gonna face disappointment. You're gonna be destroyed spiritually, morally, financially, for nothing. For nothing, fighting for nothing, only to see that it does not matter. Judges are not gonna care for you. But once in a while, you might prevail. That might be a case in a millions. And with this case, completely unexpectedly, I have reached, after like 7 or 8 years fighting in court, we reached the pre-trial date, which is today at 10:30 a.m. in the Anne Arundel County Circuit Court. Think of it. A pro-se litigant who doesn't even speak good English, Sammy Joka, that goes by the name of William Witten, against a huge corporation, Live Casino and Hotel. They own casinos all over, owned by a bigger real estate investing company, Kurdish companies, who have huge law firm, big connections. You'll see them, the owners of the company, in pictures with President Obama. They are huge companies with huge amount of money to crush anyone. And I have been fighting with them, fighting for 7, 8 years. My friends, when you fight in court against a big company and you think you're being successful because they have not managed to crush you yet, year after year, motion after motion, you think that you are doing something good and you are causing them problems. You know what? You cause them problems only if they might be seeking, let's say, a loan from the bank, and then the bank might not give them a loan because they are in the lawsuit. Casinos, big corporations, have tons of money. They don't care for that. They don't need banks' money. You think that you're making them pay the price for if they have done anything wrong to you? You are wrong. They have the attorneys and the law firms in their payroll, and they will deduct the legal fees from the taxes so they don't suffer nothing. You are the one who are suffering for fighting in court. Nonetheless, once in a while, you might, against all odds, you might prevail, like I did. 7 or 8 years fighting, day after day, motion after motion. There hasn't been a month without 2 or 3 motions being filed by the other party, big law firms, to dismiss the case. And they have won almost every motion. Every motion they have been filing has been granted, regardless that they didn't have any merits, regardless that they were frivolous. Nobody cares. Judges don't care if you are pro se. And still, I fought and fought and fought and didn't let it die. And we came to the end when I crushed them in the end. For you who know a little bit about the legal procedures in court, I'll just summarize in a few words. For you who don't know, let me explain to you. And I think I'll be a little bit in detail and a little bit in summary. When someone does a wrong to you, a civilian kind of case, that you think they owe you some liability, some damages, they have done you something wrong, and you need some compensation for that, you deserve it. And the law is in your side. If you go to an attorney, and the attorney sues them, they will take your case only if they are convinced not simply that you are right, not simply that they did you wrong, but also that the other party is not a big company. If he's a one-legged attorney, he will not take your case. Courts are strange in our country. They don't act only against process in court, if big corporations, but even if you have an attorney, but who is from a small law firm, or just is one-legged attorney or two-legged attorney, how you call them, he doesn't have any other person working, they'll crush him because his connections, his big firms. So anyhow, if you go to a lawyer, the lawyer will examine your case and think first if you really are done wrong, and if there is a legal what is that, they call it a precedent in jurisprudence, like something that similar like yours has won in court before, like they had similar circumstances, was on a similar wrong things, and a suit in pretty much in the same court, state or federal, and the courts have ruled in their favor. They think, okay, we can use this as precedent. They will take that case, and they will see if you have gone there within the time frame. Because if something is done to you, let's say someone defrauded you, but defrauded you in 1995, and today is 2025, a long time has passed. You had to go to court within 3 years. So if the attorney sees all these things that is in his favor, and especially if he sees that it's not a big company and doesn't have a big law firm, they are scared. Attorneys are scared to get a case if the other party is represented by a big name. They are afraid to go in court because they know how the courts work. Courts, there is no justice in our courts. There is no justice in our courts. It's all connections. Very rare occasions. Even if you go to jury, in trial, even if you manage there, the court will destroy you. They will not let you present evidence. The judge will say a word here and word there that will be like mocking you, just to poison the jury, to appear like you have no case. So, trust me, I have tried to fight for myself in courts, and I've learned enough. Don't ever go to seek justice in our courts. Live with the wrong that is done to you and move on. Take care of your families, take care of your business, focus on what you do best, and leave the fighting alone, because you're not going to win anything. And even if you win, the lawsuit in the end will not be worth. But if you do it, you do it. If you are a man of the principles, and if you are ready to sacrifice everything just to triumph on whatever you believe, you do it. But it's wrong. But anyhow, let me tell you a little bit of the background, what happened with this casino that I sued them. And if you are anyone in the area who have had the same experience as me and want to join me to fight together, I would love you to get in touch with me. So what happened is, I started to go to this casino, live casino and hotel that is located in Maryland. I started to go there maybe some 10 years ago. And when you go often and spend a good amount of money, spending money doesn't mean that you lose them. It might mean that you play that and get back, and play and get back. Sometimes you can lose. If you lose, you get destroyed, and they will throw you, kick you out, throw you from the boat in the river. But when you have spent a good certain amount of money, you get a good certain higher membership level. You can play as a member of the casino. You go there, they give you a card, and you become a member, and they will give you some benefits. Could be food comes, could be hotel comes to stay in hotel, could be traveling to go to other casinos. But you take benefit of that. It's good to take benefit of that. You take them. But the more you play, the higher your membership card goes. And in few years, 3 or 4 years, I reached what they called a black membership card in that casino. When you have a black membership card, I don't know now, because I've been banned from that casino from since maybe 2018, I believe, 2018, which will be around 7-8 years. But when you have a certain membership, when you have a black, or you used to have a black card membership, you had a lot of benefits. You would get a lot of more free slot play. You would get more comes, hotel offers to stay there, showing off a show to see shows there, whatever. And one of the privileges there was that if you were playing a machine, a slot machine, and you either run out of money and want to go and get some money, or you want to get a rest, you could put a stop on that machine. I don't know what the right terminology is, but you call a slot attendant, you show the black card membership that you have, and they would stop that machine. So out of service, nobody would play. And you would think that you put a lot of money there, and the machine might be ready to hit, and you want to stop it. That was a privilege. That was a right for all the casino members who had a black membership card. I had one, and so was a friend of mine from Korean origin, JL. I'm saying her name, just the first initials, because I have no right to mention her name in a social media in the public, but I'm giving her first initials, JL. JL, this wonderful girl from South Korea. We were playing together, sometimes same machines, and she was even a higher membership level than I was. And like I said, the casino had a policy that if you held a black membership card, and if you were playing a certain machine, and you either ran out of money or needed some rest, you would block that machine, you would put that machine out of service. All you had to do is press a service button there, and a slot attendant will come, you show the card and say, I want this machine out, and the machine would be out of service for about 4 hours, I believe it was. So you would come anytime from that moment till 4 hours expire, and then they will put the machine back for you. If you were later than 4 hours, usually they come and open. So far, so good. My friend Lee had been playing one night, a machine all night. And those machines are called progressive, that reaches a point. Every dollar you spend, it has a number on top that says now is 1,000, 1,001, 1,002, whatever. And if it goes to 1,200, it hits the jackpot. So usually. So she had played all night. It was, I believe, a Friday night. And I come Saturday morning there, and I find her there. And she tells me, this Jay Lee, she tells me, Sammy, I've been playing this machine all night, all these people around, you see they are waiting to get my machine. I'm tired and exhausted, I need to go and take a nap. Arden, you okay? I'm recording a video.
What?
I'm recording a video.
Oh, okay.
My son Arvin just came. So anyhow, she tells me she has been playing all night and she has spent a lot of money and that she needed to go and take a nap in the casino. I'm just talking about the lawsuit. No, you're okay, but I'm not ignoring you. And that she wanted to stop that machine, and she said, do you want to play this, Sammy, and we split the money together? If I go on the rest, I cannot resist no more. Or shall we stop and play together? What do you choose? I said, no, I'm not saying her name. I'm not taking the machine from you. Why don't we stop it? And then when you come back, if you want to play together, or you play yourself. And then that's what we did. We pressed that service button. And the slot attendant came, but it was a Saturday. It was a Saturday when the casino is very busy. And everybody around her was waiting to get her machine because it was ready to hit, supposedly. So we called that slot attendant and we asked, we want to block this machine, and they refused. They refused, saying that you haven't played enough. She had been playing all night. We know they refused because it was a busy time, it was a busy day, they had so many people around, and they wanted the machine to play. But nonetheless, she had the right to block it because she had earned that privilege. They refused and we insisted that it's her right, and she has the right to play the machine, and we're not going to give up the machine. And then they went and got a floor manager by the name of Cooper. And I liked the guy, but I didn't like a gesture I had seen 1 week earlier. He was kicking out of casino a Latino guy. This Latino guy seemed to be a little bit, not drunk, but you could tell that he was not completely sober. Anyhow, they were kicking him out as a drunk man when all around the casino you could see other people in much worse shape, intoxicated. Nobody kicked them, which appeared to me to be a racist thing, and I didn't like it. I am against anyone who violates any human rights, not simply protected, but any human rights. So I didn't like it, and I remember that Latina asked me when they were kicking him, escorting him out. He said, do I look drunk to you? I said, no, why? And he said, they are kicking me out. And I said, be happy that they are kicking you out. You're going to give them your money, especially now that you appear to be a little bit, having drunk a little bit. Be happy. Anyhow, that was the encounter I had with this Mr. Cooper, that I liked because he was very friendly every time we spoke to each other, but I didn't like the way he treated that Latino guy, especially seeing that there were so many other people in the casino who appeared even drunk and nobody kicked them out. So to me was pure discrimination. Anyhow, Cooper comes with the security. Because they want to cause now a problem, they better cause a problem and intimidate you not to ask for that privilege to block the machine, then lose who knows how much money. There are people who play $20 a bet. They could earn with that machine maybe $20,000, $30,000 in 2-3 hours. Why should they block the machine for us? So they came there to intimidate. And Cooper spoke to this girl, that I'm not saying her name for privacy, to Jay Lee. Hey, Jay, we cannot block the machine. You need to put a certain amount of money. But I told Jay, when they're coming, I said, Jay Lee, you start recording. I'll talk to them. Let's record, because they are coming here with security, and the way they are coming, like a Gestapo-like, they are not coming to help. They are coming to instigate a fight. And they can kick us out as supposedly we did something wrong. I said, Jay Lee, start recording, and I'll talk to them. And so before they start intimidating us and escalating, I told them, we're recording you. And Cooper immediately stopped and said, you cannot record this against the law. I said, yes, I can record because it's a public place, and you are recording us here all over, because the casino, every second, wherever you are, they record you. So if they have the right to record you, you should have the right to record them too. So I said, we're recording you. And he said, well, I think it's not legal. I said, well, this is not for you or me to answer. That is, if we go to courts, but we're not stopping recording because you have not stopped recording us in the casino. And he told Jay Lee that you need to put a certain dollar amount or certain time, while the other people, whenever they asked to block the machine, as soon as they showed the card, the black card, nobody asked how much money have you spent on that machine, or how long you have played. Automatically they would stop. When they said you have to put a certain dollar amount, we knew that that is a justification, and we asked how much you need to put there, because Jay Lee has been playing all night. How much you need to put there that we can play still, maybe $100 more, maybe $200, and he would say, oh, that's for us to decide. So they were not telling us how much, they were not telling us the time, and in the end they did not, and we're okay. We are very, what is that? What is the word? That we felt that was wrong, we didn't like it, but we did nothing, we left. Then the next day, we would see some American black lady there playing, for example, and as soon as a machine becomes available, she would jump on that machine thinking it's ready to pay, and call the service without even playing a dollar. They would just, maybe only one time, they would hit that slot machine a spin. And no question asked, they would block the machine. And then I told them, I warned them that I'm going to sue you. Together, me and Jay Lee were going to sue because you did this wrong to us. So they knew we're going to sue them. So what happened? Before you sue them, they now knew you're going to sue them. They were trying to find a pretext to kick me and Jay Lee out of the casino. They were trying to find a pretext so hard. So one day, I go to the casino, and I have $200 bills with me. And I decided to break this $200 in $20 bills so I could play no more than $20 in a machine if it hits, just to kill some time. So I go and try to use two of those kind of ATM machine breaking, bill breaking machines, whatever you call them, voucher printing, whatever. So I go there and I use both the machines at the same time. They are next to each other. And the machines are very close to the security desk. So I insert both the $200 bills, meaning $100 bill in one machine, one on the other, and I'm waiting for the machine. It takes a little bit of time to break them and give me back the $20 bills. While I'm standing to one of the machines, one young black lady comes there and goes straight to the machine on my right, where the five $20 bills were there. I had not stretched my hand to reach them. She comes, sees the money there, and she thinks someone else forgot the money. And she looks at me while I'm picking the money from the machine next to me. That machine was on the right. She looks at me as to ask me if that is your money or not, or to grab that money. And while she's looking, I extend my hand to get those five $20 bills, the $100. And she then, I believe she thinks that I noticed some money there that she had noticed, and was not mine, I believe she thought. And she thought I'm getting that money before she would have been able to get it. And she says, "Is that your money?" I said, "Yes, it is." And she said, "No, it's not." I said, "Of course it is." And she said, "No, it's not, it's my money." And I thought she's joking at first. I grabbed the money, and she now becomes very aggressive toward me. She wants the money, and she says it's her money. Her friend just left there. And I'm trying to move away from her. First, I'm Albanian, and I'm embarrassed. Even if a woman bleeds my nose, I would not hit a woman. So I was not going to hit her if she hit me. It's different was if it was a man, but it was a woman. Secondly, you like it or not, the perception is that blacks are a little bit more aggressive and hot-tempered in these cases. And I was thinking her boyfriend or something playing a roulette will jump there and kick my ass in the casino floor for nothing. So I'm trying to walk away from her, and she's becoming more aggressive, coming toward me. She's ready to fist fight me, to punch me, because there is no fight if I. And I am waiting now for the casino security to rush there. They usually in seconds are all there if something is about to escalate in a fight, let alone fighting. And nobody's helping. I try to go everywhere to walk away from her, and she's following me, and no help from the casino. And I'm in front of the security, which is, they are purposefully not helping. So a fight escalates, and they come and throw me out before I sue them, so they could get an excuse to throw me out, that, hey, you engaged in a fight. They are waiting for a fight to burst there, whatever is the word. And so they kick me out, and if I sue them later, they would say in court, you see, he sued us because we banned him. We kicked him, and we kicked him out of the casino because he was fighting, and he was fighting against a woman. Look how evil they are, the casinos. So when there was no help for me, I saw on my left a men's restroom, and I rushed there hoping that she would not follow me there, since there is a men's restroom, or the restroom cleaner guy, attendant, whatever that's called, would stop her. And I stayed there for like maybe 10 minutes for nothing. I stayed there to make sure that when I come out, she either is completely gone or security would have come by the time. And when I come out, she's not there. And then again, I'm going now to the security to make sure that she or any boyfriend or friends of hers don't come and attack me that supposedly I stole her money. And also to go and ask why you fail to provide security, help for me in their casino floor. It's their duty. They have their duty to make sure I'm safe there, that I'm not attacked in their premises, in their public place of accommodation. When I go there, they are at the security desk, there are 4 or 5 security people, and the lady who had attacked me is talking to them. And then I approach them to tell them, hey, you didn't help me, and this lady attacked me and was trying to get the money from me. When I approached them, they told me, stop there, as if I was a criminal. And they were laughing with the girl who had attacked me, and like being very sociable and friendly, but they told me, stop there. That stop there is an arrest. That is a false arrest. They would not, even when the police in this country stop you outside, was a car accident, was a fight or something, 2 or 3 people will be talking with 2 or 3 people, the one who attacked you or you attacked, 2 or 3 people to you, and they collect the informations. You will tell the story, she will tell the story, her story, and they conclude who is right or who is correct. In this case, they are telling me, stay there, they are not letting me move, and they are talking nicely to the lady. And then I look, they are my friends playing next there who know me because I used to go there every night. And with some of them were real estate agents that we had, we did business together, we sell each other's home. And some were my friends who I wanted to make them clients to buy home and sell homes because that's my job. Now I'm being slandered in public. I'm being held there under arrest, detained, not allowed to move, and not allowed to speak. And then I tell them, listen, here's my driver license. I cannot drive nowhere. Here's my player's card. I give you also my car keys. I don't want to stand here till you finish your investigation, whatever you're investigating, and be what is the word, defamed, slandered in public, like embarrassed like this. So I go and sit down there, and when you're ready to call me, you call me. And they again said, don't talk, don't move. So I'm being held, detained, under false arrest. And they never even asked me a question to hear my side of the story, because they wanted me, I escalate the fight, and they kicked me out before I sue them. They knew I'm going to sue them, or at least I had warned them. And then I tell them, listen, if after the investigation you find out that I stole her money, you call the police on me and take me to jail. But if she has stolen my money and you are treating her like a queen while you holding me under arrest, even if you kick her out and apologize to me, I'm going to sue you. Now I'm going to sue you. They didn't care. They said, stay there. And then some other people came, a big head security, and we had to walk now from there to the machines where the incident happened. And again, they all walked together with this black lady, laughing as if they are all friends. And while I was with 2 people behind me, 4 or 5 people, and being paraded as arrested. We go there, and they are with those earbuds talking to someone who is searching the video. And then guess what? After like 10-15 minutes there, that looked to me like centuries, they turned to the girl and they said, sorry, it's his money. They apologized to her, who had attacked me, who was lying that I stole her money and was insisting that it's her money to get the money. And they turned around and apologized to her, sorry, we cannot take his money, my money, and give it to you because it is his money. And they, instead of apologizing to me, and they turned to me and said, if we see you playing any, oh, they told her, go and have fun, enjoy the casino. And they turned to me and said, if we see you playing close to where she might be playing in that very crowded casino, you'll have worst consequences. So they threaten me now. They, instead of apologizing to me and threatening her, after they seeing that I was victimized and not protected by them, by one of their patrons, and they had detained me, that is called malicious prosecution. They now were telling me that if I am by accident playing in a machine where she might be, I'd be arrested. Instead of telling me go have fun and locking her up, or telling her if we see you close to, that is called malicious prosecution. And then I told the security to call the higher ups. I told them that I am going to ask for the video records and I'm going to sue you. And that's what. One other day, when I came, like after a week, some security walked to me and said, are you William Whitman? I go by Sammy Joga, my Albanian name. I said yes. And they said, the last machine you played was broke, it's not working, and we have concluded that you broke that machine. It was a totally lie, fabricated. And they said you have to either pay the machine. They knew I'm not going to pay. They wanted to instigate a fight. And there was a friend of mine, a black lady by the name Almira Krieg. And she said, what are you talking about? That machine, for the machine there, has been broken for 2 weeks. Sammy didn't break no machine. But they didn't care. And I walked out. And I sued them. I sued them in federal courts, in U.S. District Court in Baltimore. The judge dismissed that case. Like I told you, nobody cares for you. The judge dismissed the case on technicalities, not on merits. Meaning, technicalities is, let's say, a stupid thing. Oh, you're supposed to write the complaint with double spaces. You wrote that in one space. This is like stupid things, let's say. What they did is that supposedly I filed the lawsuit for, because I had to find the claim. You have to be careful, you have to find the claim. We brought this, me and Jenny. Jenny is from overseas, looks like from overseas Asian. I'm Albanian, and we brought them under the discrimination based on the origin, country of origin, because the other lady was American, black American. But anyhow, the court dismissed my case that I did not complain first or file a complaint to some human rights organization in Baltimore. But I don't think this is a ground to dismiss. But anyhow, I'm not going to dispute they dismiss it. That is called technicalities. So it's not based on merits. It's not that they, oh, you have no case, you are lying, you have, or this didn't happen, or even if this happened, the law doesn't support you. No, nothing of that. Was simply, you fail to do this step before you come to, which supposedly is a precondition, prerequisite, they call it. So this is considered dismissed in technicalities. You might have all the rights in the world, you didn't follow some right steps, supposedly. And I appealed them to the Fourth Circuit. There's one, doesn't matter, it's a higher court, Court of Appeals in federal. And appellate courts, courts of appeals, if you had a case decided by the lower court or trial court, whatever it's called, chances are 99% in the appellate court nobody cares. They don't want to challenge the judges. They don't want, but so they affirmed it, let alone if you are a pro se litigant, nobody cares for you. Like I said, if you do a good job and learn the law, they say, who the fuck are you to teach us the law? If you don't know the law, they say, why waste our time? And they even can sanction you. So if you are a pro se, and the court, the appellate court, affirmed, meaning decided that judge below on the lower court didn't do anything wrong. They called it a reversible error. Reversible error means that not simply the judge made a mistake, but that mistake is so contradicts the case law that is called reversible. You're never gonna get that. Even big firms don't get that. Even if you're right, nobody cares. It's a procedure. It's a joke. Our courts, our system is a joke. If you haven't learned that, you might learn it. But anyhow. But the federal courts, because we had also the false arrest that they detained me, they have no legal grounds, no legal basis, and no facts to detain me. They detained me, and malicious prosecution, which is even after they investigated that I was not wrong, and the other lady, they continued to maliciously attack me. They said, if we find you close to where she is playing, you're gonna face much more severe consequences. This is called malicious prosecution. And the judge in federal court ruled that since we're dismissing the federal claim, which is a discrimination based on the country of origin, we're not gonna deal with the state claims. State claim is false arrest and malicious prosecution. So for those claims, you can go to the state court, meaning you can go now to state circuit court. The appellate court, the Fourth Circuit, affirmed the decision of the law court. So now I had 1 year from the day the appellate court or the circuit court decided that the lower court didn't make any mistake and affirmed that, which also meant not only that they dismissed on technicalities, but they gave me a right to go to the state court, to sue them in state court, not for federal claims, not for discrimination, but for false arrest and malicious prosecution. And I didn't sue them for 1 year, but after a year, I took my son, he had to go, my older son, meet some friends in Baltimore. While I was waiting there, I said, well, he's gonna spend 2 hours, I have no place to go. Let me go check this live casino, if they have still banned me or I'm allowed to go in. And I went there, and I went to the reward desk where you check the membership, and I said, I used to be a member here, we had some problems, and I want to see if I'm still a member, allowed. She checked and said, oh yeah, you are active, and gave me a card. Very good. So I said, okay, the past is past, but the year had not passed. And I go to play, and then while I'm playing, 2 security guards come next to me and said, William Whitman? I said, yes. And they said, do you know we are here? I said, I don't know who you are. How do I know why you are here? But you are here to play. But I knew they are not because they were dressed in suits and stuff like that. They said, we are the security here. They were in civilian clothes. I said, very good. I said, but do you know we are here? I said, no, I don't care. It's your casino. You tell me if you have anything. I'm not going to speculate. I knew that something had to do with my membership. And they said, you are trespassing. I said, I'm trespassing? What the fuck are you talking? This is a card you gave me, the casino. It is given to me today. After I checked, how am I trespassing? Said, but you broke a machine, you sued us, and I said, how am I trespassing if you gave me the card? And I said, we have to walk you out. I said, dare walk me out. I said, I came by myself. I asked if I'm permitted. I was given this card. Dare you parade me, I said. And so they said, well, we're not parading you, but we're going to make sure, watch you from here, that you leave. I said, well, tomorrow I was not going to sue you guys in a state court, but anyhow, they had no clue what I'm talking about. They're just security. So the next day I sued them. And I sued them in the state court and for the state claims, and they came to the court and they filed what is called a motion to dismiss. A motion to dismiss, for you who don't know, is when you file a claim against someone who has done some wrong to you and you believe they owe you something to make you whole again. You file a lawsuit and the other party will come and file either an answer saying this is wrong, this is right, we did this, but we didn't that, and they pretty much accepted something. But they can come to the court and say, hey court, this guy Sammy doesn't know what he's doing, we haven't done nothing wrong. But even if I did something that looks wrong, that is not legally protected. There is no law that doesn't stop us from doing that. So he has no case against us. Throw that case in the trash, judge. That is called a motion to dismiss. Is the very first motion they will always file against your complaint. And they did that. And they said, hey, we had this case, judge, in federal court. We won in federal court. We crushed him there. Even he took us to the appeal, to the Court of Appeals, the Fourth Circuit. We again won there, and the Fourth Circuit affirmed their lower court ruling, so is dismissed. But they would not say that is dismissed in technicalities, and they would not say that the lower court has decided not to rule over the state claims like malicious prosecution and false arrest, and they will not, it's called omit. And so I filed a response, opposition to their motion to dismiss, and I said, no, they are lying. The federal court never ruled on these state claims that I just filed. The federal court, on the other, contrary to what they are saying, lying against the evidence, has ruled that as far as state claims goes, I should proceed in state courts. And they also said the statute of limitation has passed anyhow. Statute of limitation means that he had 2 or 3 years to sue us. That time passed, he didn't sue us. So even if he's right, hey judge, throw this case away because Sammy doesn't know what he's doing. And again, they were wrong, because when you sue them in a court, which I had sued them in federal court, the statute of limitation tolls back. It starts, it counts from the day things have happened, that they did something wrong, till the day you first file the lawsuit in federal court. So if I file the lawsuit within the time frame in the federal court, and now the federal court was dismissed, but I was still within the time frame to proceed in state court, it shouldn't, because it tolls back. And I said, they are completely wrong. They know the law, but they are pretending, because they know anything they can say the judges will buy if you are a pro se litigant and side with them and crush you. But I fought hard, and I cited so many case laws that explains that if you already had filed a previous lawsuit and this new one stems from that previous lawsuit, then the statute of limitation doesn't bar you because you have initially filed one of these lawsuits within the time frame. And pretty much I won the motion to dismiss, and I was happy because they didn't expect that a pro se litigant against such a huge law firm, against such a huge company that is known all over America and owns buildings and businesses all over America, billions of dollars, would win against them. So I won the motion to dismiss. But that is only one step. That step meant the court decided that I had a case against them, that the facts were on my favor, and the law was in my favor, and that I was able to convince or persuade the judge that it is in my favor, and they failed to do so, but that doesn't mean that you would win the case. Now starts the discovery process. From that moment that the motion to dismiss, their motion to dismiss was denied.
They're probably watching this, by the way.
Huh?
They're probably watching this.
Yeah. I'm sure. From the moment their motion to dismiss was denied till we go to trial is a big jungle where you have to fight to get evidence, to prove your case in court. Your statement means nothing if you don't have facts. Now guess what? If things happen in casino, you have no evidence. The custodian of the evidence is the casino. They have the recordings. And they will or will not give them to you. The law says that they have to give you every piece of evidence that is relevant to prove your case. And if they don't, they get sanctions. This is the law. But this is not the reality. In fact, they deny everything. And so they denied every piece of evidence. For some they would say they never had it. For some they would say it's irrelevant. For some they would say that he is not concise, is asking for a lot. So they would come with any, it doesn't matter, they knew, because from that moment till we came to the evidence, they were winning every single motion, and I was losing every single motion. The court immediately understood they made a big mistake. They ruled against a huge firm who contributes so much to the elected officials, are connected to them, and they made a big mistake, supposedly, and they wanted to crush me, and every single motion after that they won. Even when we came to discovery, they will not let, for example, they called me for deposition to depose me, but when I called Cordish, the owner, to depose, they refused to provide. And they refused even analyze the court, and they will tell the court, in one sense, oh, he has nothing to do because he doesn't run the business, the casino. And then they said in the other argument, oh, but he's very busy to come and deal with this lawsuit that is not a good lawsuit anyhow because he's running the casino. So one, and they didn't care. And I'll tell the judge, even Donald Trump, when he is in a lawsuit that is a president, he is forced to come and be deposed, give his deposition. The judge didn't care. The judges don't care here. They ruled time after time against me for 2-3 years. And I thought I had no case. And then I said, I have to. I'm not going, because the case continue. I don't want to say what I did with the judges, that I put them in their shoes. But I became firm. I said, I don't have anything to lose. I stood against judges' abuse of discretion, and guess what? They mine the field for me, so I cannot walk on that field toward the trial. They burned all the bridges, so I cannot cross these rivers to reach the trial. They shielded this company from producing the evidence. They pretty much, because you can file, it's called a motion to compel, when they don't give you the evidence you need to prove the case. And you believe that you are entitled to that evidence because it's crucial for you. And they have it, and they should have it, because they said they have it at the initial of the case, and there is a law that you can tell them, don't destroy it. It's called ESI, Electronically Stored Information Law. And they cannot destroy it, or they would be in big trouble if you tell them, don't destroy this. They have destroyed. They don't care what I said, because the court is there to help them. If you believe the courts are courts of law for justice, you'll be fooling yourself. Courts are there to protect the established, to protect the powerful one, and to crush people, common people like me and you, if they fight for justice. Those due process, equal justice under law, they mean nothing. That is a joke. They mean nothing. But anyhow, completely unexpectedly, when they thought they were going to end the case, and I had decided this case is over, I just didn't want to deal with this case. In the end, they filed a motion for summary judgment. What that is after everything is collected or not collected, after all discovery is done, and after all the motion pleading stage have finished, they come to the court and say, hey court, the time for discovery is over, and still Sammy doesn't have any facts that is going to win the case, so it's just a waste of time. We don't need to spend any more time and money. We need to close this case right here, right now. That is called motion for summary judgment. They wrote that, and I wrote a strong opposition. I knew that even Justice Scalia could not have done better. I knew I did an excellent job, but I knew that the judge will throw that in the trash, will deny. And completely unexpectedly, I cannot explain, nobody can explain. I've been talking to so many friends of mine, attorneys, and who have law firms, they cannot explain either. All of a sudden, the judge denies their motion for summary judgment, and they were not able to dismiss one single claim or one of the parties that they filed. All those motions they won for all these years meant nothing. Like, let's say in Ukraine, oh, Ukraine won this battle here, won that battle there, but in the end it's totally destroyed. So they lost it, they are completely crazy, and today at 10:30 we have a pre-trial scheduled, which means we're talking now about the evidence, how many hours we need of trial, how many days, how many witnesses we have. And they are going crazy, and it's completely unbelievable how the tables turned, and I won the case here so far. But what I think here is done again is that the trial court made sure I don't collect the evidence to prove my case, and they think that when we go to trial I have no evidence, but I have so much evidence, and I provide it to the court because you have to provide a pre-trial statement a couple of days, and I think I had to do that because if I didn't I might be prevented from presenting them in court, but I also am afraid I might have done something wrong, because the court might say, ooh, we let him go to trial thinking he doesn't have any evidence to prove the case against our big corporation friends, against them represented by our colleagues, attorneys. He seemed to have a lot of evidence, which I do, that I have collected through years myself, and they might find some way, you never know, of course. to kill my case today. But anyhow, after I told you all this, if you live in the area and if you have been done wrong by casinos in the area, especially by Live Casino and Hotel, please get in touch with me because we can help each other in this case. Sammy Joka Whitman. Greetings.